Your whole life is about to change. This is not the video that I was going to film today. I was literally planning out the video that I had intended to film, and I got so overwhelmingly tired, and I fell asleep for 10 minutes, and I woke up had to get this message out. I am extremely intuitive. I am very in tune with the universe as well as a life coach, so I combine those to talk to you. I care about my intro. Your life is going to change in a very big way. Obviously, I don't know how specifically for you that's going to happen, but let me tell you, I know that you can feel something's coming. I know you can feel something's about to change in your life. I know you can feel it. You probably can't explain it, but you can feel that something's coming. You just don't know what. You can feel in your energy, in your bones, in your gut that something is about to be different. Maybe you've been feeling it for some time. Maybe you've been able to feel it for a few months, but you can feel that something's about to change. I need to catch my breath. Oh my God. Everyone in life has a divine path, has gifts and talents and a path that would lead them to true fulfillment. But very few are able to attain that. On the road to get to your fulfillment, your joy, your purpose in life, you're going to go through things. And right before you reach that big moment in your life, that big change, that big turning point, life's going to get difficult. There's going to be challenges and there's going to be things that are really, really difficult. This is where 99% of people fall off, give up, fail, don't push hard enough. This is where you are going to be that 1% who pushes just a little bit harder. When life starts throwing curveballs at you, when life gets too difficult, that's when you are going to push just a little bit harder. That's when you know it's about to change. Everything's about to change for you. Things are going to start to get difficult. You're going to start having things go wrong left and right. That's how you know the universe is testing you one final time. This was not the video that I wanted to film today. I had zero intentions of filming this. I actually have an entire other video scripted out, not scripted out, but I make bullet points of the things that I want to talk about. But this just had to come out because I know that you can feel that your life's about to change. So when these things start to go wrong, when financial burdens start to happen to you that you don't know how you can pay it, when you're on your path to your purpose and things start coming up that you don't feel like you can make time for yourself to do these things that you want to do, or when you start losing people in your life that are really important to you, when all of these really hard things start coming up, that's when I need you to push just a little bit harder. If it was easy, if living your purpose and your dream life was easy, everybody would be doing it. There would be no people struggling, people having these dreams but can't attain them. There would be nobody who isn't living their purpose. Because every time people have hiccups is when they give up. People have roadblocks and excuses and things that make them think that they can't reach their goals and their dreams, and they give up. That's why not everybody is living their dreams, but you're going to be different. You are not going to be the same. If you're able to imagine a life in your mind, you're able to bring it into fruition. If you're able to picture it, it is able to become a reality. Anything that you can imagine already exists in another reality, and it's up to you to step into that energy and bring that into fruition. I know you're thinking of a million reasons and excuses and things that are blocking you from reaching your dreams right now. Think of all of the things around it. Start with one thing and come up with easy steps, baby steps. Trace it back to the very, very first step that you can take. One small action that you can take towards that dream. But you're not seeing me by accident. Coincidences do not exist. If you still believe that coincidences exist, then I don't belong on your algorithm, because that is simply not true. Everything that you see is for a reason. Every person you encounter is for a reason. So if you're seeing me on your screen right now, that means your life is about to change. And so when these issues start arising, when life gets hard, when these challenges present themselves to you, instead of thinking how hard it is, instead of thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Oh my God, now I can't live my dream. Now I have to give up. Now I can't do this. Now I have to pivot. You're not going to do that. You're going to say, okay, game on. How are we going to get through this? You are not going to give up because you're too damn close to give up. If you're seeing me right now, that means you are too damn close to your dreams to give up now. Let me tell you a little story. If you're new here, if you're not new here, this is not going to be a new story for you. But if you're new here, I had been in a relationship with my then fiance, and we lived together. We had kids together. But he was very emotionally and verbally abusive to me, and occasionally physically abusive to me, okay? And I could feel something coming for a while. I could feel something was going to change. I could feel something just in the air, not just like tension, but I could just feel something in my energy that like there was a big shift coming and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'll save you the details. If you really want to hear the story, go back on my channel. There's a whole story time about this. But one night, he almost ended my life. And that night, I had a massive spiritual awakening. I mean massive. I mean, my entire mindset shifted. I started seeing things completely differently. I changed my entire life starting that second. I stepped into my purpose. I figured out my purpose. I started living life through a whole different lens. But I had a choice. Because I had wild dreams. You know, I was terrified of him. I was terrified of his family. I was terrified of what they could do. So for me to post on the internet my life, my story, what I went through, what he did to me, I was terrified. I could have chose not to do that. I could have chose to play it safe. I could have chose to just stay in my shell and continue doing the same things that I had always done. I could have chose to you know, do the safe thing and still continue to let him rule my life even though we have a no contact order. I could have chose to ignore what my calling was. My calling is to help people. My calling is to utilize technology, to utilize my voice, to utilize my trauma, to help thousands of people, millions of people, however many people that I can help, using what I went through, using my voice, using my phone to help people. I chose to follow that. I made that choice instead of ignoring it, instead of playing safe, instead of staying in my comfort zone. Because you see, what we're familiar with is our comfort zone. What's normal to us is our comfort zone. So when you have always been familiar with chaos and trauma and suffering and struggle and playing it safe, when that's all you've ever known for your entire life, when all you've ever known is to just be in your safe little bubble where you know that things are safe and can't hurt you, or when you're used to people walking all over you, or when you're used to letting your dreams go to satisfy others, or when you're used to people being abusive to you because you know what to expect. That was me. At least I knew what to expect when people were mean to me, abusive to me, narcissistic. I knew what to expect out of that. But stepping out of my comfort zone, putting myself first, putting myself out there, I didn't know what to expect. I was terrified. But I did it. I made that choice. When the opportunity arose for me to make the change in my life, to change my life, to step into this new version of myself, I didn't know where it was going to lead. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to get there. At this point, I had, no idea where I was going to live. I had no idea if I could keep my job. I had no idea how I was going to support my kids. I had no idea how I was going to continue life. I was going through a traumatic event. I was going through all of these things, but I made the choice. So if anybody had to put their faith into their future, not knowing what the hell was going to happen, I did it. The universe supported me. So if you can think it, if you feel something, if you have a dream, there's a reason it's there. You can't ignore it. So if you feel it's coming, if you feel that there's something you need to do, if you feel in your heart, in your chest, in your energy, in your soul, that there's something you're meant to do in life, don't ignore it. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Don't play it safe. Nothing changes if you don't take that first step. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you stay exactly where you are, if you stay exactly where you've always been, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that someday you're just automatically going to get rich and wealthy because you're still doing the same thing you've always done? Do you think that someday you're just going to automatically find love by searching for the same type of people you've always been with because you're comfortable there? Still dating the same types of people because you know what to expect? Even though it's subconscious, you need to stop and evaluate what you're doing. If you can feel in your energy that change is coming, step into it. Don't push it away. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Step into that change and watch what happens. Your entire life will become so much better, but it won't if you stay in that comfort zone. You can never grow when you're stuck in that box. This is your comfort zone. When you're staying in that box, you can't grow outside of it. You can't grow as a person. You can't grow as an individual. You can't grow spiritually. You can't do anything from that comfort zone. Once you step out of it, the world expands so much. There's so much more opportunity. There's so much more abundance. There's so much more love from so many more people. So many more blessings just waiting for you. But when you choose, and it is choosing to stay in your comfort zone, there's nothing waiting for you that you haven't already seen a million times. Everybody's got their excuses. Well, I can't afford it. I'm too old. I'm too sick. I'm too out of shape. I have too many responsibilities. You can make the time. You can make the priorities. You can make it how I was a single mom with 4 kids by myself. I don't have support. I don't have family. I don't have parents. I don't have friends. I don't have anything. I did this shit by myself. I made the time. I made it a priority. Take the lenses off that you're seeing life through. You're seeing life through the lens of you don't have the time. You don't have the money. You don't have the resources. Take those lenses off and your brain will start to seek those things out. What you see the world through, what you're telling yourself, if you keep telling yourself you don't have the money, your brain's going to keep looking for situations where you don't have the money, where you don't have the resources, where you don't have the people. I wanted to be a speaker. Never done it before. I've never publicly spoken in my life. Terrified to do it, terrified to try it, right? But it's something that I want to do. I want to grow as a person. I want to, that's something I want to try. First time I had that thought, I decided too soon. I'm too afraid. I can't do that. That's not in the cards for me. Like, I'm just not built for that. So I stayed the same. I stayed in my comfort zone. Nothing changed. About a year later, so a few months ago, I had that idea in my brain again, and I was like, well, maybe I'm ready to circle back to that. Maybe I'm ready now. I've grown a lot. The next day, I had an email sitting waiting for me in my inbox, asking me to speak at an event, telling my story. I decided to step out of my comfort zone and genuinely step out and be ready. I didn't even have to go search for the opportunity. It found me because I decided to accept the change, to accept the opportunities that were coming to me. So you can too. You don't have to have the money. You don't have to have the resources. You don't have to have the people, the time, the anything. If you accept it in your heart and know that, okay, I'm ready for it, they will find you. But as long as you're rejecting them because you don't feel worthy, you don't feel ready, you don't feel like you're enough, they're never going to find you. But if you can feel that energy, and I know you can or you would not be here, especially not this deep into the video, if you can feel it, then you're ready to accept this change. You're ready for your life to be different. You're sick of this being all that there is. I was sick of that being all that there was, being bossed around by some narcissistic men in my life time and time again. I was sick of it. Working some dead-end jobs, barely paying my bills, never seeing my kids, sick of it. Didn't want that life. But I would never get anything different until I decided I was worthy of more. So deciding you're worthy of more and then accepting that, the opportunities literally find you. I want you to genuinely tell yourself that you are ready for this change that's coming, because it's coming. And it's fast movement. It's like chariot movement, right? And you're worthy of whatever's coming to you, because when your glass is full of, I don't deserve this, I have to do this in order to be deserving of this, I'm not ready, I need to do this to prepare, I have this to take care of. When you have all of that full, you don't have room to accept anything else. So if you ever want to be abundant, if you ever want to receive love, if you ever want any of those things, you need to get rid of the things that are taking up so much space. All of those negative things in your mind that's taking up space, you need to get rid of them. And once you do, you will be able to accept so many more amazing, beautiful things into your soul. And I'm so excited for you for that. If this spoke to you today, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you. My course is live now, so if you've ever been in a toxic relationship, toxic work environment, anything that took your power from you, I have a course to help you work through that and get your power back. I will link that down below with a coupon code as well. Other than that, I would love to have you along on the journey, so please subscribe if this spoke to you. I post videos like this every week, sometimes multiple times a week. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. TikTok's where I post the most. They are all at Kinsey Rose, so follow me for more videos like this. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.